Narcissists often believe they can escape the consequences of their actions. They manipulate, lie, and hurt others without a second thought. But no one can outrun true justice, especially when it's from God. What happens when the power they thought they had begins to fade? When the lies they've told come crashing down? The consequences they never saw coming. God's justice is never out of reach, and it's always guaranteed. In this video, we'll uncover the 5 acts of justice that turn their world upside down, leaving them facing the results of their wicked ways. A narcissist hides their real self behind a fake image of kindness, charm, or success. This mask helps them control and use others. God's justice starts by tearing this mask off, exposing their true nature. Their lies and secrets are brought into the open in ways they cannot stop. Sometimes, their own actions or words reveal the truth. Other times, someone they hurt speaks out, showing others the harm the narcissist has caused. People begin to notice things that don't make sense, like contradictions in their stories or behavior that doesn't match their words. As the truth spreads, the narcissist loses their ability to fool people. Their charm stops working. The people they controlled or manipulated start seeing them for who they really are. Relationships they depended on begin to weaken. Friends, family, or colleagues who once supported them pull away. This process often leads to isolation. The narcissist finds himself alone, unable to maintain the false image they worked so hard to create. Their reputation is damaged, and they lose the power they once had over others. God's justice ensures their hidden actions are no longer a secret, and their true character is revealed to everyone around them. A narcissist has a big sense of pride. They believe they are better than everyone else, smarter, or more deserving of respect. This pride makes them feel powerful, and they often look down on others. God's justice works by taking away what makes them feel superior, breaking their pride. When things like money, power, or status are taken from them, they are forced to see that these things were only keeping their pride alive. Without these things, they feel small and useless. The very things they depended on for self-worth are gone. This leads to humiliation, because they can no longer pretend to be untouchable. People around them, who once admired them, start to see their true nature. They begin to resist the control the narcissist had over them. Losing this control is a huge blow to their pride. They can no longer manipulate others or feel like they are in charge. Their lies and false image may be exposed publicly. When this happens, they have no choice but to face the truth. They can't hide behind their mask anymore. This public shame is often one of the hardest things for a narcissist to face. It shows them that no matter how hard they try to appear perfect, they are not above being held accountable. A narcissist's main tool is manipulation. They twist the truth, tell lies, and use others to get what they want. They make people believe things that aren't true, controlling them for their own gain. They create a web of lies and tricks to keep people under their control. But God's justice works by breaking down this web, piece by piece. The first thing that happens is that the lies the narcissist has been telling start to unravel. The people they have been lying to begin to notice the contradictions in their stories. What the narcissist once said no longer matches up with their actions. This makes the people around them start questioning everything. Once doubt sets in, it's harder for the narcissist to keep the control they once had. As the truth comes out, the narcissist starts to lose their power. People who once believed in them begin to see the real person behind the mask. Friends, family, and colleagues who once supported them start pulling away. The trust that the narcissist had carefully built is shattered. Their manipulations no longer work because people start to recognize them for what they are. They no longer fall for the tricks, lies, or false promises. The narcissist's ability to control others starts fading, and they no longer have the power to influence them as they did before. In some cases, those who were once manipulated start to speak out. People they hurt begin sharing their stories, revealing the truth. The narcissist's past actions, which they tried so hard to hide, are exposed to everyone. The people who were controlled now stand up for themselves and refuse to be used any longer. God's justice also forces the narcissist to face the consequences of their actions. They can no longer escape or deny the harm they've caused. The lies they used to cover up their wrongdoings are now uncovered. Their manipulation has led to their own downfall. The very web they created to trap others ends up trapping them instead. This breakdown of their control is one of the most painful things for a narcissist to face. The power they once had over others slips away. Their web of lies becomes the trap that they can't escape from. A narcissist's actions are often filled with cruelty, selfishness, and harm toward others. They might believe they are above the law and that they can get away with anything. But God's justice doesn't let them escape. Divine retribution ensures that the harm they caused comes back to them in ways they cannot control or avoid. The consequences for their actions are not always immediate, but they are sure. A narcissist may face the pain they caused others in unexpected ways. For example, they may lose the trust of people they depended on or experience deep personal losses. The harm they did to others starts to come back around, showing them that no one is above facing the consequences of their actions. Their false sense of security begins to crack. As their past catches up to them, the things they thought they could hide, like their deceit or mistreatment of others, are exposed. They can't run from the damage they've done. The very people they tried to control or hurt might become the ones who stand against them, holding them accountable. Divine retribution often leads the narcissist to experience the same pain they once caused. If they used others for personal gain, they might find themselves alone, abandoned by those they exploited. If they hurt others emotionally or physically, they may face emotional or personal suffering. These experiences are a way of showing them that their actions have a price. As this retribution unfolds, the narcissist begins to realize that their control, manipulation, and harm had consequences. They can no longer escape or hide from the truth of what they've done. God's justice ensures that they face the results of their actions. A narcissist lives in a world where they believe they are always right and deserve everything they want. They rarely admit when they are wrong and often blame others for their mistakes. However, God's justice works by humbling them, forcing them to confront their own flaws. Over time, their false sense of superiority starts to crack. They can no longer avoid facing the truth about their behavior. The people around them, who once accepted their lies or control, begin to stand up against them. They realize that the narcissist is not as powerful or perfect as they once thought. God's justice doesn't let the narcissist stay in their prideful state. They are made to face the consequences of their actions, whether it's losing respect, relationships, or status. As they experience the fallout of their actions, they begin to see how their behavior has hurt others. This process forces them to question their own beliefs about themselves. They can no longer ignore their flaws or pretend they are flawless. The mask they wore for so long starts to fall off, and they must come to terms with who they really are. Their manipulation and control, which once seemed unstoppable, lose their power. The narcissist realizes that they are no longer in control of everything around them. They are forced to face the reality of their actions, their arrogance, and their mistakes. This humbling moment is part of God's justice, showing them that no one can escape the truth forever.